And then we went into another championship match, the Smackdown Women's Championship match between Bianca Belair and the challenger and the man, Becky Lynch. And they call how they use Bianca Belair as the EST. I actually wrote down the battle of the biggest false eyelashes. Those girls had brooms on their eyes, both of them. Why do you need such big false eyelashes in a wrestling match? They were huge.
They can't afford one of those cleaning robots. They rub their face across the floor and pick up all the stuff that they put.
It just stood out. I looked and I thought both of them, they got these big bloody things sticking out. And I thought, you're in a wrestling match. And if one comes off and you got one big one and one normal one, you're going to look even dorkier. But anyway, of course, this was as a result of what happened at SummerSlam when Lynch came in for Sasha Banks and, won in 26 seconds. Did you see the tweets between, this was actually very funny, between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair on Instagram? They had some tweets and Becky Lynch was saying something about the 26 seconds and Bianca Belair retorted, well, I heard that's how long Seth lasted. I loved it. And it ended right there. But anyway, I digress. But so this match was always going to be interesting, but I was a wee bit disappointed in it. I still think Becky Lynch is a little bit short of a gallop.
I think she's always been a little bit short of a gallop.
Yeah, but look, I don't know what happened, at SummerSlam, but in my own mind, I'm 99% sure that she wasn't supposed to work that night. I don't know if she was ready, but obviously something's happened to Sasha Banks, and you've just had the big thing at AEW where Punk's, come on and all of that sort of stuff, and they needed to do something. And, doing a 26-second match, well, it's easy. Anybody could do that. But it just sort of set it up, and she hasn't really worked since. So I don't know. I don't think Belair should have lost. I think they were onto something with her, and I think the run could have kept going a bit.
Yeah, I agree. What do you reckon, Anthony?
Belair had like Belair was the top. Was one of the top superstars in the women's division as the champion. Now it's been 4 to 6 weeks since SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I still don't agree that that's how Bianca should have lost the title. But see, I see it twofold though. I don't agree with how they did it, but if they're trying to get Becky Lynch as a heel, it's kind of perfect in that way.
But she was always sort of a heel, wasn't she?
Yeah, but the problem with Lynch is you can't turn her full heel because she's cheered.
Yeah, well, she wasn't at the pay-per-view. I actually thought one of my notes, fans booing Lynch more than I've seen previously.
Which was a change because when she came back and even the first promo she cut that following SmackDown,
yes,
she was being cheered. There was little boos here and there, but majority of the time she was being cheered. And I'm like, how are they going to do this?
Well, that's an old saying, mate. They can't love you until you're gone. So if you're not around for 18 months, you come back. Even Triple H has been cheered when he come back after him.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where the cheers come from. Secondly, with her last runs, she basically had the Stone Cold Steve Austin rub. She's the anti-face, which all the cool kids want to like. You understand what I'm saying? So she was the man. She drank a beer with Austin. I don't care. I'm going to get the job done no matter what, which was very Austin-like.
Yes.
And I'm going to stick it up the man, stick it up the boss, which people like because most people like to punch their boss out at work, and it's that kind of mentality that the psychology behind the character was very clever, right, and very smart. Same with Austin, right, a very anti-hero kind of thing. Now she's come back beats the biggest face they've got at that particular time in the division clean in 26 seconds by cheating. So, and she's had to cheat to do it. One thing about Austin, what actually made Austin was him not tapping out to the sharpshooter. Right, with Bret Hart. That actually made him the anti-hero person that he was, because no matter how much nasty son of a bitch that he was, he had principles. He was going to live by his principles, and he didn't give a rat's ass who he was going to deal with. And that's what Lynch had before. Now she's come back and sold herself out, and she'll do whatever she has. And Austin actually did the same thing when they did the invasion angle, and he started singing his guitar with friggin' Kurt Angle. He sold himself out. He sold himself out because the guy had principles before. He looked desperate at that point. Lynch looked desperate. So once you start looking desperate, you're no longer a cool kid anymore and you're a heel. That's just simple psychology, right? In the wrestling business. I've never been a fan of Lynch. Never ever thought.
Yeah.
Right? Whether she was popular or not, I always thought there was something about her. I was never really a fan. And Belair, she's got all of her trajectories uphill.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think they need to do this to Belair. More I think about it, I was dead set pissed off about SummerSlam and how they treated her. And I was deliberately, because I think at times all wrestlers have had that happen to them where they've been doing the right thing and they get screwed on shit, So I was pissed about that. But I think if you don't give Belair some form of resistance, then if she's achieved the top so quick, then where does she go? If I put some people in between there, if I make her life a little bit harder, if the people start sharing the journey with her, potentially you might have somebody that's a rocket. So I don't know if that's what the angle they're coming from. I've got no idea because I'm not in the booking meetings. But what I can tell is that I like the finish where it was a DQ to Belair.
Yeah.
I like that finish because still kept Belair in the title picture. It keeps Banks in now in the title picture. And you've got Becky Lynch. So now you've got three girls you're working with. They'll be working some form. Hopefully they don't do a three-way. It'll be a terrible match.
Well, Boss actually said, and it was quite audible, and it was done so as almost as a promo, but as she was in the ring, she goes, I'll see you two next Friday night on Smackdown.
Yeah, she did say that, yeah.
So obviously...
Hope they don't three-way it. It'll be a terrible match.
Yeah, well...
Sasha Banks, I don't have much time for it.
Maybe they might three-way it. Oh, no, probably not. I was going to say maybe for the Saudi Arabia show, but they probably wouldn't over there.
No. I can't. I don't think they allow women on the cards, do they?
They did allow... It was Natalia and... I think it might have been actually the Boss, but they were sort of fully clothed, as in their gear was down to their wrists, and basically there was nothing shown except the head, like as in skin.
I would say that if they three-way that, if they go into a three-way with that, I reckon Lynch should move to the side, hold the belt, use the belt as a taunting thing, and say, if I'm not having a three-way, the best one of you two guys can wrestle me for the belt, right? And let Lynch and let Belair and Banks go at it and have a good hard series. Then the payoff is Lynch. But I think three-way is not going to work here. It's not going to work. And the problem with the three-way too, it's done to death.
Yes.
Every friggin' feud they're finishing off with is three-way.
Yeah, it hasn't become. See, it used to be a novelty or something, whereas now it's not the exception. Now it's actually the rule.
When it was originally booked, and I think Jim Cornette booked it. I could be wrong, right? The idea of the three-way was you three bastards can't get along. One kept running into one singles match, the other one kept running into another singles match. They're right. If you bastards can't get along, we're going to settle it now. Three-way, whoever wins this, that's it. Now you got three-ways that end up in DQs. It was always meant to be, it's like a dog collar match. Yeah. It's always meant to be a match that finishes the feud. Now they've made it as part of the feud. So what's the next one? We set everyone on fire. You know, where do you stop? So the three-way, it's done to death. It is absolutely done to death. Yeah. You know, that should be that three-way should be whoever wins on this, that's it. Nobody gets a shot at it. But the WWE use it as the guy who never got pinned now will fistle the guy that got the win, and the guy that was pinned will go back down the line. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Agree. And then, Anthony, what do you think? To wrap us up on that match.
I don't get why you got to put Sasha in the title picture. Now, I said this the other night. Sasha has the ability to be able to go over without a title on her. She's able to put herself out there without the title. And that it's more that she doesn't need a title. It could be that the division and the title is needed for her, not the other way around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get that yeah, she doesn't need the title, but I think this might be more for Belair for the rub.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I think. You are right about Banks, without a doubt. But
Bailey being injured, of course.
Yeah, Bailey was there. It'd be a different story altogether.
Yeah.
You'd see Bailey and Banks. That would have been a good feud.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bailey and Belair. That would have been a good feud.
Well, that they were doing that, of course,
yeah.
The knee, and which is probably another reason maybe they had to bring Becky Lynch in. If Bailey, not if Bailey went down, she did go down with the knee, and then maybe something happened to Sasha Banks. Maybe she got COVID or whatever, but she seemed to be a last-minute scratching. So
yeah, that's right.
So really, who's the next biggest one that could have come out?
Well, you're right. Only really leave is Lynch.
So they probably had to bring Lynch in and say, look, just go in. We'll do this 30 seconds or 26 seconds. Da-da-da. You know, we'll just start setting it up and give you another 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. Because I don't think in any way, shape or form, after having a kid and being away for 18 months, yeah, you can just step right in. I mean, she was training the house down apparently, but still, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right.
Anyway,